Good evening, everyone. How's everybody doing?
Yeah, good evening, Dr.
Good
Edu.
evening, sir.
Yeah, doctor, how are you?
Good evening, Doc.
I'm fine.
Yeah,
Great,
Good
great.
evening. Good evening, everyone.
okay,
Good evening.
love you.
Appreciate everybody's time tonight. We are starting time now. We're just waiting a little bit to get all our panel members in, and we are going to kick start time now. So you're all very much welcome. This is Eretmis Cyber Chat. We do this every Friday night. And like I always say, Friday nights you could have been anywhere else, but you chose to be here to support the Eretmis family, to share in the knowledge, and to grow as security professionals. And every night, every Friday night, you are going to get something for your toolbox if you join us on Cyber Chat. And if you are new to the industry, you're already in the industry, this is a place of like-minded cybersecurity professionals and aspiring cybersecurity professionals. So we encourage you to join us every Friday night, and you are going to learn something new. So you are very much welcome. Tonight's topic is a very interesting one, and we are not just going to, at Eretmis, we believe in practical, hands-on, realistic stuff. So if we are looking at how you'll be able to break into the cybersecurity space without any IT experience, then it's only Eretmis style to bring people who've actually done this in real time for them to share the experience, and then for everybody on here who is aspiring to also be able to pick their brain on what their struggles were and others. So that is what we are going to be discussing tonight. Now I'll lead a discussion, and we open the floor for everyone to also chime in and ask your questions as well as we move along. So some housekeeping: if you want to ask a question, kindly raise your virtual hand in the Zoom, and we will give you the chance to ask your question. So I think we are going to go through our cyber news for this week, and then we will come back to our panel members. They'll introduce themselves, and we will start the discussion. So you are very much welcome. Let's begin time now. And we are streaming on YouTube. So if you are unable to join us on Zoom, or for some reason you have to leave Zoom, you can join us on YouTube as well. Like, we are streaming live on YouTube, and everything that we do on Friday Cyber Chats, they are on YouTube. So you can always get the replay on there if you miss it, or you have to leave earlier than the whole entire program is going to last. So welcome once again, everyone. And tonight's topic: how to start a cybersecurity career without an IT background. Kindly give me one. All right, so kicking everything off, this is brought to you by Eretmis Academy. We are a cybersecurity institute based out of New York, and I'm Dr. Emmanuel Ledoux. I'm going to be your pilot tonight, and everybody else is going to be my co-pilot. Everybody else is going to help, chime in, ask the questions needed, and we will take it from there. So a little bit about me: I'm the founder of Eretmis Academy. I'm also the CEO of Eretmis Inc. Eretmis Inc. is a PCI QSA company. For folks a little bit new to the industry, you get to know what PCI is: a niche within the cybersecurity space, right? And for a company, that is one of our specialty areas. We do PCI audits or assessments. We are a cybersecurity company, so we do all other cybersecurity projects on the government side and then also on the corporate side. And I'm also a former United States Army captain. I'm a member of the Forbes Technology Council, former professor, University of Maryland Global Campus, and CTC, Central Texas College, and also everything in terms of mentorship, cybersecurity guidance. I'm also there, and I'll be able to help and steer you in the right direction. So all our panel members for tonight, they all started from scratch in the cybersecurity industry. They don't necessarily have cybersecurity or IT background, but they were able to go through the whole entire journey, and they made it. So they're going to be sharing their story. Now, at Eretmis, we are partners with CompTIA. So what that means is that for every CompTIA certification that you want to sit for, we have a 20% discount that you can, that we afford to you to be able to write these exams at a 20% discount. So I think for Security Plus and others, now it jumped from 407 or 409 for the certification amount to, I think it's 435 or 425 thereabout, right? So a 20% discount will help you save some few dollars. So it is, at least it is still something. Now for folks who have already, gotten their certifications. Every 3 years, you have to renew. And one way to renew is to resit for the exam or to use what we call continuing education points. And attending Cyber Chat tonight counts. Every 45 minutes of this program counts as one CPE, CEU, depending on the organization we are looking at in terms of continuing educational points. So put in the chat Team Live, hashtag Team Live, and take a screenshot of it, and you'll be able to use that to for your certification renewal, mostly with CompTIA. For others, also you can put them in a PDF format and still upload them, and that is still going to count, right? So and at Eretmis, we have a WhatsApp group for Cyber Chat, and we are going to post the link. So if you're looking to join our WhatsApp group, it's purely for cybersecurity, nothing else. And if every now and then we post something educational, cybersecurity wise, for you to be able to follow on there as well. Now, on YouTube, we also on YouTube, Eretmis Cybersecurity on YouTube. All our Friday nights, we post them on YouTube, so you'll be able to visit previous, Friday nights and other replays as well. And we encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel as well. Help it grow. Share with family members who are interested in cybersecurity. And I can promise you they are going to learn a lot just by going through our YouTube content, right? So with that, we are moving forward. Now we will look at our cyber news for this week. So if you have any, cyber news that you think the whole entire community is going to benefit from, you can kindly raise your virtual hand and also share that as well. But we will start with our cyber news. And first in the news is a 0-day vulnerability alert. So Cisco, for organizations using Cisco's firewalls and different type of Cisco devices, there's an agent threat, or no, there's an agent vulnerability, right? 0-day vulnerability. So an agent risk, for if you want to put it that way. And these vulnerabilities, they are exploitable. So CISA, the organization CISA, not the certification, right? US Cybersecurity Infrastructure Security Agency, they have directed federal agencies, and in so doing, organizations on the corporate side to look out for new vulnerabilities that have been identified, new 0-day vulnerabilities identified, and these are the CVE numbers for these vulnerabilities. And they are in Cisco ASA, and then also in Cisco Firepower devices. So these are firewalls, different types of firewall devices. And I think the ASA is firewall, including intruding suspect, all of it in one, IDS and IPS in one as well. So if your organization is using any of these, you better let them know, hey, this is what is going on. So this vulnerability, they have to put in until Cisco comes up with an upgrade or a patch. Organizations have to put in place their own, controls to make sure these vulnerabilities are not easily exploitable by attackers, right? So we'll do a little quiz on this. And during Cyber Chat, we've looked at so many 0-day attacks, 0-day vulnerabilities, and mostly we try to, go a bit deeper and educate ourselves when we talk about 0-day. So today we are going to be doing a quiz like that. So when we say a 0-day vulnerability, what are we really talking about? What makes it a 0-day vulnerability? There are so many vulnerabilities in the cybersecurity space. What makes a 0-day vulnerability a 0-day vulnerability? Anyone, you can raise your virtual hand and we'll give you the floor. Anyone want to give it a shot? A 0-day vulnerability. Renee, please go ahead.
Hey, how everybody's doing? So 0-day vulnerability is a vulnerability that does not have a patch, that does not have a fix. So when we find a vulnerability in the system, but we check in the database, there is no fix for it. That means there's no, so there have to be we have to take extra step in order to fix or to keep that vulnerability in check. But in other words, is a vulnerability that does not have patch.
Okay, thank you. And Martin, please go ahead.
Yeah, a zero-day vulnerability is actually a vulnerability that is yet unknown by the product owner, I mean the product manufacturer, and does not yet have a patch. So companies or organizations that using that system should take a compensating control to keep that device isolated from being attacked by malicious individual. So the zero-day attacks, the zero-day vulnerability, sorry, is a vulnerability that does not have a patch yet or is still unknown by the product owner, I mean the provider. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Martin. And mostly, I like to break this down grandpa style. So for folks joining us tonight, if you are totally new to cybersecurity, right, don't be scared by all these fancy words and zero-day vulnerability and all these Greek that or French that we're talking about if you don't understand any of those languages, right? So a zero-day vulnerability, simply look at it this way. Vulnerabilities are illnesses or diseases that we have as human beings, but on the IT side, for our computers and our systems, they affect vulnerabilities are weaknesses in our system, right? That how illnesses are weaknesses in our systems. So if there is an illness, for example, when COVID hit, there was no solution for COVID. There was no vaccines for COVID. So until we find a vaccine for COVID, COVID is a zero-day vulnerability, right? So any illness that will come, on our health side, until we find a remediation for it or we find a vaccine for it. So while they're in the lab trying to find a vaccine, it remains a zero-day disease or zero-day illness. Same thing with, our systems. If there is a vulnerability identified in a system, and the owners of the system are still struggling to come up with a solution to it, or a medication or a vaccination that is going to eradicate it, it is going to remain. That is what we call zero-day. So because for illnesses, like we have different illnesses, different viruses, but all of them, we have vaccines for them. So the ones that we will discover today with no vaccines, they are what we call zero-day vulnerabilities, right? So hopefully, if you break it down that way, it's very simple and easy for everybody to understand, right? So that is how, cybersecurity is not that complex and that technical that you can never get your head around it. Just that you have to go to the right place. Because some places you go there, they just start hitting you and bombarding you with all sort of jargons and terms and, trying to make you feel stupid, right? But simply because they don't know how to break it down to make it, for everybody to be able to absorb it and to be able to, understand what is going on. Now, second in the news is, in the UK last week, not UK, in Europe, there was a bit of a problem at the airports because there was a cyber attack. Now, what happened, and proud to this, I wasn't even aware that most of the airlines or most of the airports, they are using one service provider for all their, check-ins and bookings and others. I wasn't even aware, right? It is a really, 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 a big recipe for disaster. And that is what happened in Europe, right? So Europe, apparently, the airports, they use aerospace, an IT service provider to do their check-ins, so to make everything move faster. So your pictures and everything, I think for Delta and others, you just get there. Sometimes they just scan your face and you are checked in, you'll be able to go. So apparently this IT company got breached. And because of that, no check-in was going on. So the airlines, they had to go back and do everything manually. So they have to go back and do it the old school style. And you know what that means? There's going to be a lot of backlog. They are going to be, so if the IT systems were able to help us to check in maybe 100 people in 10 minutes, Now, if they do it manually, they will check 100 people in maybe probably, half a day, right? So obviously there's going to be a big bug. And that was a big problem at the different airports, different cancellation from different airlines. And this in the cybersecurity space and for airlines is a big wake-up call because they don't have to put all their eggs in one basket. If you're using just one service provider and they go down, then everything is going down, right? But I really didn't think for big corporations, billion-dollar companies like that, with all types of cybersecurity professionals and other IT professionals in there, they all be relying on just one company to be doing their checking, to hold their check-ins and checking infrastructure for them, which really is not a good security strategy, frankly. So with that, we are going to move into just a list of our courses, and then we move straight into our panel members and we can start the interesting discussion. So for folks on here, if you're joining us for the first time, if you are looking to break into the cybersecurity space with no IT background, no cybersecurity background, we got you covered. You don't need any prior IT background or cybersecurity background to begin, and we are going to know why today when we start our discussion. So our entry-level cybersecurity entry-level course is the best program that is going to, get you from where you are to finish. And by the time you are done, you are not going to be just an entry-level professional, but you can work as intermediate-level professional as well because of the type of training and hands-on internship that you're going to go through. It prepares you and makes you all-rounded as a security professional. Now, for our cybersecurity entry-level course, the second portion of it is our GRC internship and workshop. And for this program, for folks who've already had some training elsewhere, you went to school, you have a degree in cybersecurity, you have a master's in cybersecurity, but you've really not done anything, actually working on any projects. This is where, you can come and get your hands dirty working on different projects. And when you go to interviews, you have, something to talk about because you've actually worked on projects on the job. You also be able to function, right? And all our students who've landed jobs, they can tell you sometimes it's literally like they never left the internship and workshop. It's like they are still doing it because what they did during that time is exactly what they are doing on the job, right? And then we move into our cloud security for folks who are already in the cybersecurity space, or if you're already in IT and you're looking to, polish up more on your skills, or especially for those in the cybersecurity space or even aspiring security professionals, whilst you're waiting to land your first role, it is always prudent to polish up and grow in the security space. And now everything that we do for all companies, almost every company is doing something in the cloud, right? So to be able to help protect their assets in the cloud, we encourage you to look into our cybersecurity, our cloud security professional program, which is also very hands-on. We take you through different, all the major cloud providers, AWS, Azure, Google Cloud. You are going to know how to protect assets within those environments. And we encourage you to look into this also as well. And then also for AI governance, AI is in the forefront of everything that we do now. As security professionals, it is also going to be part of our role to be able to manage the AI assets of our organization. And this is what this course, is going to provide you with. Very hands-on. You are going to learn insides and outs of AI. And when it comes to AI governance, risks, and compliance, you are also going to be able to manage what your company has in terms of AI also as well. And then our specialty, one of our biggest specialty areas, PCI DSS, for folks looking to specialize in a niche, arguably the most lucrative niche in the cybersecurity space. We encourage you to look into our PCI program as well. And for our WhatsApp group and then our YouTube, all of that is going to be posted, so you'll be able to join. And with that, we are going to jump into our discussion for tonight. And we will start off by introducing our guest. So, okay, I can see right, in my side is Ifeoma. I can see Ifeoma, and then I'll be looking for our other guests. So Ifeoma, you can go ahead and introduce yourself. And also I'll have our other guests. And before Ifeoma introduce herself, let's give a big round of applause to Ifeoma. She just landed her first cybersecurity role, right? So a big congratulations to her. And she has a lot of, buddies from her internship group who are here to support her, and they know how they all started, right? So gradually, if you are in Ifeoma's internship group, you don't have to stop pushing. Keep pushing, right? Keep pushing. There is no easy way to this one. There is no shortcut. Here we tell it as it is. There is no secret, no magic one. The secret, yes, we have the secret sauce. We are going to give you that, but still, there's hard work involved, right? So it's not like you're going to sleep and wake up one day and you're in a cybersecurity six-figure role. You have to work for it, right? So we give you all the tools, everything, the encouragement, all the assistance you need in the world. And if you're mine, everybody can speak to that, right? So if you want it, it depends on how bad you want it. You are going to get it eventually, right? And for all of them, for everybody who's going to speak today, it paid off, right? So that, as the saying goes, quitters don't win, winners don't quit. So if you don't quit, you're eventually going to win, right? You can be the slowest, I get it, but if you don't quit, everybody else who is the fastest, they are going to give up. And it's going to be only you left. So they have no option but to give it to you, right? So persistence is the key. You can have the knowledge, you can have everything, but if you don't keep pushing, a company is there waiting and dying for you. So you just have to push till you find them, right? So that big congratulations to Ifeoma, and I'm going to give the floor to her for her to introduce herself, and then other guests are going to introduce themselves as well, and then we go into our questions for tonight. So Ifeoma, you can go ahead, please.
Thank you, sir. Please, can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. Thank you, sir. Good evening, and good evening to everyone. My name is Ifeoma Ifidoba, and I was in the November 2024 internship, GRC internship cohort, and I was the group leader for Diaspora Care internship group. I've had a background, my career background has been in customer support, media, and product development. So that's my background. So this is just a very surreal moment because it was in 2022, I think, that I watched an interview, a cyber chat like this with someone, I think it was Michael, who had landed his first role as a health professional. And that was when I made up my mind that, look, I'm going to go for this. And here I am, and I just landed my first six-figure salary cybersecurity job, and it's amazing. And I can say that the support that I got from the internship really, really helped me a lot. And not just the internship, but the support I got during the interview process, because the interview process was quite rigorous. I did about 7 interviews altogether. So a big thank you to Dr. Edu for the prep. He really gave me some great insights that really helped a lot. Thank you. Can't hear you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you for the intro, Ifeoma. I think I saw Bettina also in here. So Bettina, please go ahead if you are still on here.
Hello, everyone. Hi, my name is Bettina, and I'm so sorry where I am. I cannot show my face, but yes. So I'm currently a cybersecurity manager at Munich, New Jersey Airport, and it's exactly which today is the 26th, and on the 9th of September actually marked a year since I've been the cybersecurity manager at Munich. And like everyone, I met Dr. Edu so I started my internship in March, and in that same year, September, I got my position at as the cybersecurity manager at Munich. And like everybody else, I had no cybersecurity background. I'm a lawyer from Ghana, and a law professor from Ghana. And then I came into this country just a few years ago. It's exactly actually 3 years since I came into this country. And I met Dr. Edu, in February 2024, and I started the internship in March. And as Ify, I was also the group leader. It looks as if that everybody who joins the internship, and you have to find a way to be a group leader, because there's some power that comes into you and some drive after going through the internship and getting that position as a group leader. Even for me, I wasn't even chosen. I think I was the assistant group leader, and then the first person who was the group leader dropped down, and then I took that position. And I always say that sometimes I was a bit skeptical when I picked that position, because I felt like I just wanted to come and do the internship, learn and do the internship, and just find a job for myself. And I didn't want that whole responsibility. But I always say that sometimes God has a way of pushing you into certain positions that He knows is going to help you. Let me just put it that way, because not only was I able to land a job, the job that I'm doing now, I'm actually managing people. So imagine if I was not the group leader for the internship, I only did not learn, but I learned how to manage people during that internship season. So it really helped me a lot with the position that I'm in right now, coming from a law background, jumping into cybersecurity, and not just being like a cybersecurity analyst, but actually managing my whole team of like old men and old women. I'm the very youngest person, and doing all that with so much confidence and so much hard work. It's amazing. So yes, this is me, Bettina, and I joined I joined Eretmis in 2024 February. I landed my job in September, and here I am now.
Thank you, Bettina.
You're welcome.
Thank you. And so we have Matthew, we have Asana, Roland. So I'm just going through the list. So for our other panel members, if you are here, you can kindly also introduce yourself. I'm trying to find everybody in the list, but everybody is kind of scattered all over the place.
Good evening, Dr. Du, and good evening, everyone.
Oh, good evening.
Yeah, this is, I think, Hassan.
Oh, go ahead, Hassan.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, I started, I joined Eretmis, that is the internship in March this year. And then I was a group leader for ADDI. And then I landed my first cybersecurity job just 2 weeks ago. So I'm currently working with Kemper as an analyst for cybersecurity, cyber technology. That is InfoSec. That is where I'm actually, let me say, parliamentary right now. Yeah, I also started, let me say, I started having my eyes on the ball. That is going to college with the idea of getting a degree. And I just started with becoming a pharmacist. And then I had a major in cybersecurity. So at a point, I just switched to cybersecurity. But actually, I wanted to do something in cybersecurity, but I was, let me say, walking blindly. Went through all the educational letter, and I came out with bachelor's in cyber information security and risk management. But after that, I actually tried getting a job, and then I think when I came out, I actually had a job in Walgreens SOC, which was a third-party company that hired me, and then I was working as a SOC in Walgreens, and then it was just like receiving calls and then making a report, whatever happened in Walgreens. We had the first point of contact that was going on. And then the most second part was I live about 70 miles from where my work area was. And then you have to be there always. So less than 2 years, I have to abandon the job because of how stressful it was. And then when I came back, I tried applying for jobs in the cybersecurity. And then I wasn't able to learn anything. I think I sometimes I do get interviews, and then when I go at the end, I was actually turned down. And I came across Dr. Du. I called him, we talked, and then I wanted to join. But as it is, sometimes you never say, oh, I can do this. So I was just dragging my feet. And then I think I also saw the same, someone also doing the same thing online. And I actually joined that class. And then later on, I saw no, it wasn't going well. So I abandoned that. And then I decided, no, let me go to Dr. Du, which I did. And then I actually started my the internship. So I didn't go through that. I didn't go through the let me say the beginning, or let me say the entry level course. I just went for the internship because I have a little bit of cybersecurity background. So I just went for internship. And then after a month, I think after we graduated, I actually started applying for jobs. So let me say July. So that we completed, and then I had my resume, and then there was corrections that I did. I started, and then I think I landed my first cybersecurity job. So I think that actually the program has always helped me. So I'll just pause here, and then the rest of us, those are left to introduce themselves, and then any questions that anyone has, I can actually probably answer. Thank you.
Thank you, Asana. And if Matthew or Roland were able to make it, if they are on here, they can also meet themselves and introduce themselves briefly. All right, and I can see a lot of old faces, right? Some of our Eretmis grandpas and grandmoms are on here who've been here for the longest. They've been working for some 5 years, 4 years. Others, I've seen them also join to share in the knowledge. So they can also chime in as we are asking the questions, and they can also bring in their own stories and how it has worked for them up to this point. So the whole point of this, why we are doing this, is one, to encourage everyone who is trying to get into the cybersecurity space to let them know it is possible. From any background, you will be able to join. And we say this not just to convince you to join the program or anything, but to show you examples of people who've done it, right? And we can pay Ifeoma, Asana, Bettina, we can't pay them enough to cook up stories, because you get the chance to quiz them, right? So if they are making stuff up, you will know. And they also have mates who are in the same programs with them. So they can all attest and say, oh, yeah, of course, I know if you're mine. So it's not like we brought some people from somewhere just to sell some, internship or some course for you. Here, we are here to encourage you, to let you know it is possible, and for you to learn from the mistakes they made, things that worked for them, what didn't work for them, for you to be able to learn from. So just like what Ifeoma was saying, 2022 was when she joined Cyber Chat. She saw Michael, and I think Michael is on here, Michael Yeboah. She saw Michael talk about how, he went through his journey. That motivated her. And now guess what? She's here also telling somebody else, right? Some people who are naysayers will be like, yeah, it's BS. Others who are like Ifeoma will be like, okay, I think, this guy is legit. I can, based on what Michael has done, I can also do something. So, I mean, the choice is really yours, and how you want to perceive things. You can perceive it anyhow you want. But here, we let you know, this is exactly what is going on, and this is how it is. Because at Eretmis, we really have nothing to hide. So we tell you the truth. Because eventually, if we don't, eventually you are going to know, it is going to catch up with us. Just like how Asana was saying, he actually went to do some other program, right? Why did he turn around and come back? Right. So, and when he came back, he had the results. And anybody who's gone through any of our programs, you can stop halfway and say, well, I don't want to do cybersecurity anymore. But you can't say this program didn't really help, or I didn't learn anything from it. You know yourself, for sure. Right. So I think on that note, we are going to jump into, so this is how our questions are going to be structured. We are going to look at the emotional aspect of the journey, right? The fears, and the successes that you are going to encounter, the practical steps, right? And then we'll look at the inspirational aspect of it, the type of mindset you need to be able to excel in this space. right? It's not just the technical things you are going to learn in cybersecurity. And for Ifioma and everybody else who has landed their cybersecurity jobs, they will let you know that what is going to make you land a role is really not that you do 3 interviews, technical, non-technical, and then you do a mixture of both, right? Mostly is the non-technical that is going to get you, not the technical part. If you come through Eretmis, technical interviews is not going to be a problem. You will know it. But the non-technical, we also school you and we polish you up on it. And mostly when you come to the internship, you learn a lot of the non-technical without you knowing, right? Because you have to learn how to deal with Renee, you have to learn how to deal with Martin, you have to learn how to deal with. So if you go to an interview and they're like, well, give us an example of or a situation where you work with somebody who is very, very hard to work with. How did you go about it? You just remember Renee. Oh, yeah, that guy. Right. This is how I handled it. And then you can also speak to your technical. How do you conduct, policy review? How do you can walk them through it, right? So with that being said, we are going to jump in. And for the questions, we can go from Ifioma to Bettina, and then ladies first, and then we go to Asana. And for our other, our seniors on here, they can also, if they want to chime in, they can raise their virtual hand, and then we give them the floor, right? So our first question, we are starting from the starting point, so where everybody started. So the question is, what were you doing before you decided to switch into cybersecurity, and what made you take that leap? Right. So we start with Ifioma. What were you doing before you decided to switch into cybersecurity? What really motivated you to make that jump?
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. So I was working with my current job role is with the non-emergency medical transportation company. So we transport kids to behavioral health centers, kids that have mental behavioral problems. So I work as a driver and an aide. That's why I drive the kids there. That's what I do. So I came into the US in February, I think February 2023. So that's what I've been with that company. So even though I had the background of customer care, media, and product management back in Nigeria, when I came to the US, I had to get a temporary job. And that was what I was doing while I was preparing to take the internship. And so I just want to let everybody know that, of course, when you come to, I've been here for just about 2 years plus, and I landed this job. So it's possible you don't have to. I don't even have a green card. I don't have citizenship. I don't have clearance. And I landed a 6-figure income job. So it's possible. So so I decided to join the internship. I remember calling Dr. Edu. This was before I even got my papers. I said, I just came to America. When I watched that Michael's interview in 2022, like my heart was like, no, I have to come and get this job. Like I have to come to the US. So I came, I called Dr. Edu. I have not gotten my papers. I just came with B1, B2, called him on the phone. He told me everything. I said, fine, let me get my papers. Got my papers. I started pursuing the internship. Now, the internship was really, really, really eye-opening, even though I had gotten my security plus before I did the internship. So I didn't do the entry level. I just went straight, even though right now I wish I got the entry level, honestly. Because when I went into the internship, I was like, if this internship is this rich, I'm just wondering what the entry level looks like. I wish I did. And I would encourage people, even though you might think you have some background in cybersecurity, still go, or IT, still, I think entry level is good to have. So so I don't know if I've answered the question. So that's how I started the internship. And while the internship was going on and I was learning about the frameworks, learning about what cybersecurity was about, learning about GRC, I began to look at the company I was working with the eyes of a GRC analyst. So even though my job role was not GRC at that time, I began to ask myself a question. So if I was a risk and compliance analyst or a GRC analyst for this company I'm working for, what would my job be? And so I started investigating, and I found out that this company needs to comply to HIPAA, needs to comply to state regulations, needs to comply to, protect, because we deal with patients, so we have to protect health information, protected health information, PHI. So I started applying the things I learned from the internship to the company I was working for, and it was eye-opening. And that's how I really was able to, that's the journey. And coming out of the internship, I was a little bit nervous, of course, because this is not something I've done before. I remember reaching out to Michael. He was just like, start applying, because Michael was very supportive. I was like, see, Dr. Do say we should apply after the internship, but man, I feel like just going back to the course. He said, no, don't do it. Just put your resume out, start. He looked at my resume, he helped out. And, I think I applied to, and again, in this kind of thing, you really have to be aggressive. You're competing with people that have, like in my own situation, I didn't have a green card, I didn't have citizenship. So I was competing with people that had those things. So I think I did 420 applications within the space of maybe 3 months or so, something like that. And of course, I got a lot of calls. I'm still getting calls today because something else I did that really helped during the internship were really advised. We had a job placement assistant program that advised us on how to set up our LinkedIn profile. My LinkedIn profile has really helped a lot because not just did I set it up properly, I also put content at least twice a week. I put up content, and that has attracted a lot of recruiters, and people contact me every time, asking if I'm available and stuff like that. So I don't know if I have answered correctly, but that's been a summary of the journey. And today I've landed a job as an information security and compliance analyst at the number 3 global apparel retail company in the world. This is number 3 when it comes to retail companies, apparel retail companies that sell clothes. This is the number 3 brand in the world. And I am pumped up and I'm grateful.
Thank you, Ifeoma. So we go to Bettina. So Bettina, what were you doing before you decided to do the switch into cybersecurity, and what made you take that leap?
Hi, everyone, again. So thank you, Dr. Du, for this question. And so my story is quite similar to Ife's own. I'm originally from Ghana, and I was a lawyer. I'm still a lawyer, no was. Yes, from Ghana, and I was a law professor in Ghana, and I decided to move into the US 2023. No, end of 2022, actually, in November 2022. And as everybody, when you're moving into a different country, you are asking yourself what to do, how to move fast, especially when you didn't come in here early and you're already old. I'm not that old though, but yeah, and you want to move fast. So let me put it that way. So personally, my area of law that I do, or I used to do back home in Ghana, was corporate law. And as a Black person and moving into this space, it was going to be very difficult for me to break through that space. Some of us know some of the reasons why. So a lot of lawyers here in the United States are doing immigration. And that is not the parts that I wanted to do, even though that is what I started with when I came in. So during my research, and I've always been very curious when it comes to IT and stuff like that, even though I had no background. This is somebody that I could barely even work with Excel. I didn't know nothing much about it. I mean, or the only computer stuff that I knew were the PowerPoints and things that you use to just teach and stuff like that in back home in Ghana. So yeah, so I had a lot of friends who were in the cyberspace, and I got very intrigued and I was very interested in it. But how to get into that space was very difficult for me. I mean, it was very frustrating for me because everybody that I would speak to with regards to that, I kind of figured out that, so let's just say, and this I've even said it before, like if I have a friend, or if I know people that are maybe they are doing like vendor risk. If I ask them, how did you end up doing this job? The only thing that they would tell you are the only thing that they know about vendor risk. And then it will come, like, I felt like I wasn't getting the great foundation. I ended up even paying money to join some courses online. I mean, some groups that were teaching cybersecurity online, and I really got frustrated, to be honest. So throughout one night, I was just glancing through my YouTube, just going over it, and then I chanced on Dr. Du's Cyber Chat, and I was like, let me just listen to. I think he was teaching. We're discussing third party. And because I had a lot of friends who were doing that, I was like, let me just listen to this. Maybe this conversation will be different from all the things that my friends who are already in that space that are even confused with the same job they are doing that cannot give me the good foundation. Let me see if I would get something out of this. And shockingly, I think it was more than 2 hours for the whole conversation, but it felt like just 20 minutes to me because it was so informative. Like I really enjoyed the whole chat and I was listening from the background and everything. So that night I couldn't sleep, to be honest. I listened through at like 2 a.m. and I was like, nah, I need to speak to this man. Like I need to find him. So I think I checked on, I went to your website and then I got the number and then I called him the next morning. And Dr. Du was very nice. He spoke to me. I told him how frustrated I was and how I wanted to get into the space, but I was scared because I'm a lawyer. I don't have any background in IT. I can't even do nothing with IT. Let me be honest with myself. And then he was like, don't be worried. People have done it before. And the fact that you are willing to study is even 50% for you. And it really, I was very comfortable and I felt welcomed, let me put it that way, to have somebody who was ready to teach you from 0 to 100. Let me put it that way. So I didn't waste time. I just registered and I started with the entry level. And when I started, I'm like, this is it. Like this is a class. This is like you're being groomed to get in something better. I felt like I wasn't confused anymore. I felt like, okay, you have to start from one. I remember I told him, I've even done my security class. I wanted to do this. He was like, you need to calm down. You need to start from number one. You need to get the basics because if you don't understand the basics, you are going to get confused. And that was where I was at the time that I met Dr. Edu. So I started with the entry level. And then I remember, so I joined the Cyber Chat every Friday and he announced that there was going to be a new cohort in March. I was like, I need to finish this. I remember talking to Dr. Edu. I told him I wanted to do the March and he was like, are you sure you'll be done by the time? Because you have just a month. Will you finish to get to like 80% before doing this? Or because there's going to be another one after 3 months. I was like, no, I can't wait for 3 months. I really want to get this thing done. And I think like it was more of the discipline because sometimes even though you really want something, how bad do you want it? If you really want something very bad and you really want to succeed in something, you must put in your all. And that whole month of February, I didn't do nothing. I wasn't working. The job that I was doing, I stopped everything from morning, afternoon, evening. I was on the entry level course, reading and studying like a fresh student in university. That's what I did. And by the time the March cohort was starting, I was almost like 60%, 50%, 60%. And then I called him that I wanted to join. And truly I started. And it really helped me a lot because not only did I read a lot, I also got to know about how to manage people. And I always say this because it was it wasn't an easy internship, and I'm not going to lie to anybody here. If you are here and you are feeling like, listen, I'm going to join this internship and tomorrow there's a Zoom meeting and you are joining from your phone somewhere, you have to be very disciplined with yourself because Dr. Edu is not going to come to your house to wake you up and tell you that, hey, you have an assignment, so go and meet your group people to join, go and meet your group people and do this assignment. You have to be disciplined. He's giving you everything. Now the work is on you. For my group mates, I don't know if some of them are here, we would do every day, every night from 9 p.m. to almost 2 a.m. every day we were meeting. Every day we were meeting. And I wasn't giving them, it got to a point, it'd be like, I'll just start calling them, you have a meeting. The first few weeks was kind of difficult, putting everybody together. But then after some time, because if you are not able to finish, every Saturday we are going to present to Dr. Adrian. It was like what's it called? Like group A and group B. Everybody wants to, like be better at the presentations. So we realized that, listen, we cannot listen, I'm ready to learn. So if you're not going to do it, I have to do it. And I think it was something that really helped me also a lot as a group leader, because I was asking myself the question that, hey, if my group members are not able to do it and we go for the Saturday presentation, if you're a group leader and nobody is able to answer a question, who is the person that the doctor is going to call? It's going to be you. So I think it made me, putting myself in that situation as the group leader, also really put extra discipline on me, because I feel like at every point in time, you must have an answer for every question that was given to you. And it really helped me a lot. So where do I even, so basically that is the some of the things that I have done, and it really helped my journey. And I was able to move from where I was to where I am now, and I'm still enjoying the space. So I think that's what I would say for now.
Thank you, Bettina. Okay, so we move to Asana. So same question. What were you doing before you decided to do this switch into cybersecurity? And also, what made you, take that jump? And I think Asana started off with that, but he's gonna start from the beginning and give us a good background into what he was doing before and how he decided to do the leap. And then we move on to our other questions. But kindly go ahead, Asana.
Thank you, Dr. Adu. Yeah, I came here. And I came, let me say, I came here, and then before that, I was a teacher, a junior high school teacher in Ghana. So when I got here, I was working in a warehouse. So I was a production line manager, production line operator, and then later on, a shipping clerk. So and as we all know, those of us who have worked in the warehouse, we know how it is. So at a point, I saw that no, this was, let me say, too tiresome. So there was something I needed to do something, and then I started to enroll. Let me say, get my bachelor's. No, I started with an associate degree. So I enrolled in Juliet Junior College. And then when I started, I decided that I wanted to be a pharmacist. So I started with the pharmacy, and then I was minoring in cybersecurity. So before I graduated, and I came to realize, no, I have to just go switch to cybersecurity. So I switched to cybersecurity before I had my associate degree. And then after that, I continued to Lewis University, where I did information security and risk management. And then I graduated with a bachelor's. And then I think the bad part of me was that I was thinking that, okay, I had the idea, or I have the mind that, okay, if I come out with my bachelor's or anything in cybersecurity, I was just going to get a job. So when I was there, I didn't bother doing anything. So I was just working in the warehouse while taking my classes, doing all that, thinking that, oh, if I come out and then apply for a job, I'm just going to get something to do. So I didn't bother until I came out with my bachelor's, and then I started applying for jobs. And then what happened was that during the course, you do a little bit of everything. You do pen testing, you do a lot of things, risk assessment, all those things, categorization. So you do a little bit of everything. So when you come out, you think that, okay, I can, if you see any job, when I came out, I saw, oh, there was one testing job, thing that I'll be able to do it. I applied a lot of them, and then sometimes I had an interview, and then I'll just go there, and then answer one or two questions, and then I'll be stuck. So I went through this for some time, and then I was thinking, no, I was doing something wrong. So a friend, I think there was a friend who also called, and then I said, no, you need to get a right path, or you need to get a path that you have to get a place that you actually want to focus on. And then I think I always forget about this, but actually, getting to a year after that, I had a job with Walgreens stock, and then it was just far from where I'm living right now, 70 miles, which I drive, and then every day about 2 hours in, 2 hours out, and then I was within a month and a half, I was just tired, and I said, no, I can't continue doing this. So I just stopped. I quit that job, and I came down, and I said, okay, I have to sit down and then strategize and see what to do next. And then the key things I want to say is, with cybersecurity or any other job, I think you have to have a focus. You have to have someone who will direct you. I think that is what I have learned. Because I didn't have someone who would direct me, okay, do this, do this. And if I had someone who could direct me or guide my path, I think that things could have been better for me in a long time. But because I didn't have that, I was just walking, thinking that, oh, let me say, thinking that, oh, what I'm doing was right. So I think most of us here are on the same path, maybe doing things, but we don't know whether what we're doing is actually right or wrong. But I think Dr. Du is here, and then he has been helpful. So when I discovered Dr. Du, and then I called and I spoke to him, and then he told me, okay, this is what I have. Come and then join my classes. It took me some time. I was dragging. Sometimes I tell myself, oh, I can do this, and then I applied, and then it was on until I went to another interview again, and then it didn't work out, and then I said, okay, this one I have to go into this. So when the next cohort was I think March, which I actually just put everything into it, and then I joined, and then we started it. So we graduated in July. So after graduation, I sat down and I thought, okay, I could see the reason why I wasn't offered, let me say, job previously when I was applying for, because I saw that after the interview, I saw that there was something in me that I didn't have. Because what I was seeing outside or the previous jobs that I was going for interviews, it was just something that no one will even give you that job until that person just like you. If not, it couldn't have even qualified me to be given those jobs. So yeah, so after I let me say we graduated in July and then came down, I actually have my master resume, gave to Dr. Du. He looked through it and then gave me some guidance, which I did the corrections, and I started applying. And then what I did was applied about, let me say, 10 to 15 jobs, both third party and then cybersecurity, vulnerability. And then I decided to pause and then see, because Dr. Du once said, if you're applying for jobs and then you're not hitting anything, it means that you're doing something wrong. So after applying for, let me say, 20 jobs, I just paused and I said, let me wait and see what is going on. So I wanted to see the feedback. If it's positive, then if it's negative, then it means that I have to call Dr. Du and then we'll see what is going wrong so that he can direct me. And then lo and behold, I think I actually had a call. And then one thing I want to say is, if I know most of us have been receiving the scams calls and all that. Yeah, in a day I receive a lot of scam calls or whatever it is. So sometimes I see a call coming and I don't know. I think it was a scam call. I don't even pick. So there was this call that was coming. I look at it. I say, no, again, let me just pick, and I pick, and then it was this recruiter who wanted to get in touch with me. So yeah, I think if you're applying for a job and then there is any you see or maybe probably there are calls coming in and you don't even know the number, please just pick. It might be a recruiter who's trying to get to reach you and then probably schedule an interview. And so yeah, so he called. Actually, when he called me, we spoke, and then he actually asked me. It was Tuesday, so he said, "Will I be available for an interview on Thursday?" So I looked at it and said, "No, can we push it on Monday or Friday?" Then he said, "Okay." Then he's calling me on Friday, and then after the call, I just called Dr. Du, and then I think I made an appointment, and then. I think the appointment I had was on the Thursday. So on the Thursday, Dr. Du called me, and then we went through it. And then I think one of the things that I also, when we spoke, he was asked me a little questions about the company. And then when I got to the company, I tried to make to get a little research about the company. When I got there, their mission statement, their visions, and all that wasn't on the website. So I told Dr. Du, I said, okay, you have to find it. Go and then search where you can to find those information, because those information are very helpful to interviews. I went back and I actually searched for those information. I had them, and then he also gave me some of let me say, yeah, he gave me some questions to study, which the next morning I had them, and then I spent time on those ones. And then when I went, yeah, it was 2 panels for the first interview, and then yeah, I think it went good. So the next day, I think the next 3 days again, they scheduled me for the second interview, and then it was 2 panels, but and then I was given the offer. So I was given the offer in August. I started 2 weeks ago, and then everything has been okay. Yes, a lot of things are going on, and then I think one thing that we are actually I'll be doing right now is also AI risk, let me say risk risk assessment, which I was looking at. So Dr. Do has been doing this. I wish that I could have taken this class. So yeah, so there's this risk assessment that I'll be doing too, in addition to the let me say the other risk assessment and all that. So yeah, and then I think where I am now, I think I'm relieved. Thank you, Dr. Do. Thank you, the team that I worked with. I can't thank you, Mike, because I think you actually helped, and then and me getting to this point. Thank you.
Okay, so Asana, a quick follow-up. So Asana's path is a bit different. He went for a college degree, a master's degree, and then he
It's a
thought he
bachelor's.
could just
Yes.
bachelor's degree.
Yes.
Yeah, sorry. So
Yeah.
bachelor's, I think first associates and then bachelor's.
Yes.
And then to him, I mean, once you have that, like the jobs are there for your taking, right? They should just like because you have the degree, they should just take you, right?
Yes.
But
that was
the reality was that wasn't really the case, right? So, but my question to you is, Asana, if let's say you were lucky and they gave you the job, knowing what you know now, how well do you think you would have done on those jobs?
Yeah, that could have been that could have been a disaster because if I was given a job, it could have been difficult for me to do. Yes, because uh, actually what I learned in this our internship actually helped me a lot. There was a lot of things that I didn't know. There was a lot of things that I did, and now I'm in risk management. So for the past, I think I was it's just like giving we're just going through a lot, not with how to get into let me say this how to information, how to get information. That's what they're just sending me. Okay, this is what we go. The controls and all that, the frameworks that we are working with, and then the tools. So with me, we are using Visio for our AI risk assessment, and then we're using Nevex for our risk assessment and all that. So for the first 2 weeks, I've just been using the Nevix, and then I think I'm okay. So he said next week, yeah, I'll be receiving let me say risk assessment, maybe emails so that I'll be doing my risk assessment next week because what we're doing so far, I have done it. So it's just like boom boom, we're just on my way to do my actual risk assessment next week. So I think it has already helped me a lot.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. So great. Now, I think we will go to our third questions, which have partly been answered. So our second question was focusing on your biggest fear. So when you first started, what was your biggest fear or your biggest concern about not having an IT background? And how did you overcome that? I think almost all speakers kind of touched on that, right? Or so just keep that in mind. When you are given your next question, you can briefly touch on that and then move on to the next one. And the next question was your first step. So the very first concrete step that you took to start this journey, and I think almost everybody also spoke about that already. So now let's go into the training experience, right? So for what you are doing now, or what you are going to start doing now, in the case of Ifeoma, how well, because for Ifeoma, you can kind of gauge, and once you've given the role, it means based on your answers and the interaction with you, they know you can do the role.
Mhm.
So how well do you think the training that you had was instrumental in your interviews and also on the job? How is that one giving you that confidence and that peace of mind to be able to go in there every day ready and willing, chest out to contribute to the team with no fears, right? And two, on the technical side, how well do you really, in terms of actually doing your job, how do you relate what you are doing now to what you did, and like what has been the impact? I think Asana kind of briefly touched on this, so we'll start with Ifeoma and then we'll go to Bettina. And I know Bettina has a lot to talk about for this one. Right. Candice, go ahead, Ifeoma.
All right, thank you. So I haven't actually started the job yet. I'm still onboarding, but I would say that the training from the internship really made me bold and exposed me to the knowledge and skill required for this job. Because you see, what makes you, they usually say, what makes you get called for an interview is how well you drafted your resume. And what gives you the job is how you speak during the interview. So how you're able to express yourself. So I would say that the training during the internship exposed me to the different kinds of tasks that will be required of me during the job. For example, policy development and review, risk assessment, third-party risk assessment, audit readiness, security awareness and training, incident response, business continuity, and disaster recovery planning. All these kinds of things are, I got a practical exposure to all these areas which are very crucial as a GRC analyst. So it's not just somebody giving you a website to go and watch videos. This is like you're going to have a team. You're going to work with real human beings. And like Bettina said, one of the things you're going to learn from the internship is how to deal with people, because during my interview, I noticed that this question kept coming up. They kept wanting, I did 6 interviews, like I was interviewed 6 times. So one common question across board was, tell us how you worked with people in the past. They want to know how you work with people. Have you handled teams before? Have you organized teams? They want to know if your team was to talk about you, what are the qualities they will mention about you? So teamwork is so crucial in this thing, knowing relationship management. So during internship, that's one of the things I learned. It was challenging because you're coming together with people from different backgrounds, and sometimes you don't even know where to start. There's something that they taught us about team formation, different stages of team formation. And I saw that play out in our team. Of course, we had our rough times, like where we disagreed. But, at the end of the day, we had to deliver, and we delivered on each project, gracefully. So I would say that internship really opened. And something I want to really mention is that once you get into the internship, where you're working right now, your eyes will now begin to open. For example, I told you I work in a non-emergency medical transportation company, and I started seeing GRC where I worked, even though that wasn't my role at the time. I started seeing what kind of data we're handling, what kind of data needed to be protected, what kind of things we needed to comply with, even the non-IT stuff, just operational things that we needed to comply, due to state government regulations. So all these things helped to form. So by the time I was doing interviews, you think I've worked in this thing for like 20 years because it was practical, very practical. So I would say that's the internship really, really, in fact, it really helped. It really helped me. And I hope I've answered the question. Yeah.
Yes, thank you, Ifeoma. And I'll go to Bettina. Bettina, what you did for you went through entry level internship, and what you are doing on the job. Bettina has been on the job for a year as a cybersecurity manager, straight out from no IT background to cybersecurity manager. You can't fake that, right? And to be able to work in that role, and I talked to Bettina and everybody behind the scenes. I know what she's doing in her company. She's a rock star there. How do you move from non-IT background within kind of a year, get into a cybersecurity manager role, which, mostly people who've been in for 7, 8 years are the ones handling it. How do you go in there with all guns blazing and you're a rock star? Even your CEO knows you. They know the kind of work you are doing. And you cannot BS your way into that. You can talk all you want during interviews, but when they give you the floor to perform, it's like you said you can sing better than Beyonce. We gave you the mic. What are you going to do? Talk us into not singing? You have to sing, right? And we all can hear. So there is no BS in your way in that one. right? And that goes to show you, so if you don't have what it takes, you've not actually done anything. All you know is theory and concepts. Good luck. Even if they gave you the job, you become what I call walking heart attack. Now you are a grown-ass woman, grown-ass man, but you dread going to work. Like somebody's bullying you at work, but you are the one bullying yourself because you got yourself into something that you cannot do by talking big talk and you cannot walk the walk. Bettina, kindly go ahead. How has your experience been on the job and what you did during the internship?
Thank you so much for this. And I think one thing that really it's amazing when you join Eretmis is the fact that you get to have the confidence and the audacity. I will put it that way because after I went through the internship, I got my first job before we finished the internship. Because for me, I used to tell my group mates that, hey, I'm going to start applying, and if I get any job, I'm just going to use it as a rehearsal interview for my main job. And I used to say this jokingly. So I started applying during the time that we're doing the internship. And then I got a first interview. I did it. And then I passed to the second one, and that was when I didn't contact Dr. It was like, Dr. I've got myself into trouble. I went to apply for a job, and jokingly, I got called for an interview, and I've passed the first stage, and I'm going to the second stage. And he was like, you got this. So we went through it and everything. And yeah, so with this role that when I applied for it, it was very interesting because when I was doing it, I read everything on there. You know how like the job, like the roles and the responsibilities, and I was like, cybersecurity manager. I'm just getting finished with my internship and everybody's looking for entry-level roles and things like that. But then with everything that I had studied from the internship, I had the audacity. That is why I always say this. I'm like, listen, I don't care what the role is. Once I have the foundation and I know what to do and how to go around it, I need to apply for this job. What's the worst thing that can happen? We are not going to give it to you. So let me just do it. And interestingly, I did it. And like if you said, she had 6 interviews, I had 5 interviews. So the first one, second one, like everything, and the first interview was just on phone, on Teams. And then all the other interviews was in person. And this is something that I also want to tell people. Sometimes people will be like, oh, I have a friend, somebody said they're going to do the interview for me when I am able to do this and hear stuff like that. Listen, you'll be living in a dream's land because that is not going to happen. For this role that I'm doing, you cannot be a cybersecurity manager and somebody. I mean, if you may be lucky to have even all the interviews even on Teams, but for me, I had to go sit down with the CEOs, with the other managers, with the HR manager, with everybody in person to talk about stuff like this. And you know, when you don't know something and you're speaking about it, everybody will know. I always say that everybody know how to talk, but you only know how to talk when you know what you are talking about. And that is what made it for me because I'll be sitting there and they'll be asking me questions about like, hey, what are you going to do? Like your relationship with people. And then I'm like, listen, I've done a 3 months internship with people that I had no business with. And I was a group leader and I've been able to handle them this far. So what was the worst thing that can happen? You understand? We've had arguments on the page. We are still able to deal with people. So I had used all those experiences. And interestingly, it was just the first 2 interviews that they really asked me about technical stuff. All the other interviews were non-technical. So imagine if you don't know how to deal with people. Imagine if, because it's like, if you said, it's something that it really means a lot for the companies because they know that you know your stuff. That is why you're applying. But then how do you move that stuff into personal life and moving the company forward? And as a manager, that is what you're going to do. They know that you know your stuff already because it's on your resume and you've talked about it. You've gone down the first 2 interviews. You've met the IT people. You've met all those. So the other people that I'm going to meet, they want to know how this position is going to help move the team forward. And interestingly, when I started and after everything, I was like, I knew I was going to get this role. And shockingly, I got it. And then I remember the first day that I entered, I was entering into the place. They will introduce you to everybody. They ushered me to my office. I was like, oh, I have an office. Okay. So they took me to my office, that this is going to be your office. My name was there, cybersecurity manager. I was like, okay. From entry level to a whole cybersecurity manager, they called my team. Guess what? We are like 13 people on the team now. All men, one lady, and I'm the manager. And they're all older people. Some have like 15 years of experience, 17 years of experience, 9 years of experience. And they are looking at me, this little girl, this little Black girl, let me put it that way, who is going to be managing these men, my fathers. So it's not an easy thing if you bullshitted your way into this position, because you are making decisions for them. When issues happen, they are calling you, they are coming to you. When you call for a meeting, you are sitting there looking at them, answering their questions. You need to know your stuff before you can able to answer questions. To even ask the right questions means that you need to have a foundation in cybersecurity. So it wasn't easy. And for my company, every 2 weeks, we have a bi-weekly meeting that I need to meet, like the CEOs and the other managers, because everybody has to talk about your department and what issues that you're facing. Listen, a whole CEO, and I'm managing a cybersecurity, what's it called? It's an airport that I'm managing. And you all know what these days is happening with airports and stuff like that. So for everything that comes up, my CEO is calling me. My CEO from Germany is calling me. From here is calling me. Listen, I can be sleeping at night, and then I'll get an email and they want something there and then. That is not the time I'm going to call Dr. Du. Dr. Du, this is an email that I've received. What do I do? He has given you everything. You went through all that through the entry-level course. You've done it through the internship. You know how to do your research. You know how to think on your feet, because now you have everything in your hands now. And my fear when I started, I think the same day I called Dr. Du and I was like, Dr. Du, I'm starting to them a little bit nervous. He was like, Bettina, you have everything. You don't have to be nervous. Then you know it. So just do your job. And truly, I started little by little. And now, anytime I go to my office, I'm so excited because I'm not scared when I'm going for any meeting. I'm not worried when there's an issue. I had my first TSA audit and we passed. I was so excited, being the only Black, let me put it that way, the only Black woman with a team of I had TSA auditors come in, there were 7 people. My whole team plus me, it's just me. And I'm the cybersecurity manager. I have to walk my whole team, be in a very big room. I wasn't intimidated because listen, I'm the boss and I know what I'm talking about. So I felt this way, and this is helping me a lot, all because of the internship and how serious I took my studies with Eretmis. And like I said, Dr. Du is there, the information is there, but then the 80% of the job relies on you. If he gives you everything, he can pull you to the, how do they even say it? You can take the horse to the riverside. I don't know how to say that thing, but yes, if you're not ready to study, he cannot open your head and put it inside your head. He's going to give you everything. He's going to be there. And one thing I love about Dr. Du, one reason why, I've moved a lot of, I talk to people to come to Eretmis, it's not just about the knowledge, it's how available he is for you. He doesn't care if you are a 10-year Eretmis older, old student. You can call Dr. Du anytime, any day, and he's available to help you through it. What else are you looking for? You understand? So, that was my fear, and now I'm a pro. Thank you. Academy.
Okay, thank you, Bettina. And I think Asana answered most of the this kind of question in his delivery. So we move into the job hunt journey. So we will start with if you can walk us through briefly your application process, the interview process, right? The rejections, right? You wake up in the morning and your email is filled with, oh, we're moving on with somebody else. We're moving on with somebody else, and you're like, oh, is this even going to work? Right? How did you deal with that? So the whole entire process, and then mentally, how did you prep yourself mentally, and still be optimistic and keep pushing?
Okay, thank you. So I'll start from the end of the internship. So after the internship, we were I think the last module was about job placement assistance. So that really helped me with designing and drafting my resume. And of course, there's that initial reluctance to really put yourself out there. For me, I was, Dr. Lu encouraged us. He said, you may feel like you don't have it, but you do. You've gone through this internship, you have what it takes. Even though you feel like you don't, put yourself out there. So I started applying, and I applied, I think, very rigorously. I think I did like maybe 20 applications every day, and I used several platforms. I went to Indeed, LinkedIn, Glassdoor, Monster, Career Builder. So I went to different platforms, and I was applying every day. Of course, I got calls, a lot of calls. And I would say this to people who, because I know that this was really an issue. Of course, there are some job roles. This is cybersecurity, and of course, they want people that they can vet. Okay, so sometimes having some clearance is an advantage. Being a citizen in the US is an advantage. Having a green card is an advantage. Of course, I had some offers some opportunities that came to me. They really wanted to interview me, but because I didn't have these documents, they had to let me go. But I didn't give up because I knew what I had. I had confidence. I had taken the training. Aside from that, I had applied the training to the company I was working for. I think that was the one that really gave me a lot of confidence. Everything I learned in internship, while I was doing the internship, I was also profiling the company I was working for in real time and looking at their policies, looking at their practices, looking at what they had to comply with and stuff like that, the kind of data we're handling in the company. That really gave me that feel that, look, I know this stuff, aside from the internship. So I think I did a total of about 400 interviews. I got a lot of calls. And then eventually, the truth is, just like Bettina said, I don't know if it's Bettina and Asana, I had gotten so many rejections. Like, that mail, when it comes, your heart just sinks like, oh my God. Sorry, thank you for applying, but we love, and sometimes they will even praise you and worship you first before they break the news to you that, look, we had to go with another candidate. So I think I got like maybe 200 of those mails, a lot, but I didn't give up. I kept applying. I just kept up. I told myself I'm valuable. Somebody needs me, and that person is going to find me. So I just kept at it. So eventually, when the company that employed me called me. I let me just tell you the truth. At that point, I was like, oh my God, I didn't take them seriously. I didn't even I was like at the point of, let me just take the call. And it was a video call, and I was actually shocked. It was the in-house recruiter that called me. So she was telling me she saw my LinkedIn profile, she liked my profile, she loved my background. And let me also say this: sometimes people think that they have to present. Okay, in my resume, I only presented the last 5 years of work on my resume, which I submitted. But my LinkedIn profile has everything I've done from 20 years back. So you can actually see my progression and how I got into cyber. Like it's there. So she said that was what she saw, and she liked how rich my exposure, how I had done different things. I dealt with customers, I'd done this and this, and that she liked what she saw, and that she would like to push me to the hiring manager for an interview. And that's how it started. So I would like to say that sometimes people think that they have to have just all cybersecurity roles on their resume or on their past work history to get selected. Sometimes they're looking for people that have some exposure in other fields. It's not just cyber. So if you have a non-IT background, it could work for your advantage. So I just wanted to put that out there. And so I was interviewed by the in-house recruiter. And then something I want to mention is this. This company I work with, they're the third largest apparel retail company in the world. Funny enough, I used to shop at this company back in Nigeria in the city mall where I lived. But I didn't even know that this was I didn't put two and two get together. So later on, when I was before I did my second interview, I realized this is the company that wow, I'm a customer of this company. So I used that because I had gone there and I shop and I buy my birthday gifts with this company back in Nigeria when I was in Nigeria. I used that experience because I had personal experience with this company. I used their products. I used that a lot in my interview, and I can tell you that was a great advantage. So when they ask questions like, why do you want to work for us? Which all of them asked. One of my answers is, I'm a customer. I have used your products. Your company is my go-to company. This is where I buy my birthday gifts, I buy my clothes, I buy my stuff. And it was actually true. Back in Nigeria, that's where I used to buy a lot of things. So, but I would say if you are interviewing with a retail company, or it would be nice for you to visit the store. And because I think they like the fact that I had supported the company in the past, so they felt like I was already a part of them. So that helped. So I was interviewed by the first interview by the recruiter, in-house recruiter. The second interview was by the hiring manager. There were two of them, two cybersecurity managers. One, so it's a Japanese company. So one manager from Japan and one from the US interviewed me. And the kind of questions they asked, they wanted to, of course, tell me about yourself. Dr. Edu already prepped me on how to answer that. And if you watch the previous, there's some cyber chats we've done about how to answer questions. I went through those. It really helped. And then they wanted to know my understanding of GRC. Who is a GRC analyst? And what have you achieved as a role in your company? What have you done for your company as a GRC analyst? And I was able to answer that so well because, like I told you, when I attended the internship, I started seeing in the company where I worked for, I started seeing how I could apply these things for the company I worked for currently. And that really, and of course I used AI. I would advise you to please use ChatGPT is very helpful. You can use ChatGPT. It will give you a lot of tips. Okay. And then other questions, soft skill questions, they asked about frameworks, they asked about, why do you want to work for a company? And Dr. Edu really coached me about that, because you have to make sure you understand the values, the missions, the principles of the company you're going into, and you have to be able to speak their language. And I did that. And also, finally, I think I was interviewed by the COO, CFO, COA, all the C-suites. They wanted to meet me. And then the final set of interviews were with global directors from Japan, because it's a Japanese company. So I was interviewed by 3 global directors in Japan, and they mostly wanted to know, of course, why do you want to work for us? What do you see in our company? Of course, bringing up the story of I'm a customer brought a smile on everybody's face, of course. And the questions were not very technical, but they wanted to see that I was interested. I think they were looking for interest in the company. And also something Dr. Edu briefed me about when I was interviewed by the global directors. They wanted to know what I'll do. If you come into the company, how are you going to start? And Dr. Edu already told me. In fact, I was shocked because he told me, if the global directors are going to interview you, you need to have a 30-day plan, a 90-day plan, a 120-day plan. So I had to go sit down with ChatGPT. I put all the input. Give me 30-day plan. What are we going to do? 90-day plan. And I just gave it to them, and it was awesome. So thank you so much, Dr. Edu. I really appreciate the preps. Those preps were so excellent. And like Bettina said, this is an excellent program. If you need Dr. Edu's help with anything, he's available to help. And I encourage everyone, please get him if you really want to achieve this. Thank you.
Thank you, Ifeoma. So I think we will have a sign-up goal with this one. The job search, how did it go? All the no's that you encountered before, your yes, and how did you manage it?
Thank you, Dr. Adu. Yeah, so before even coming into this internship, I have a lot of interviews. And then I think previously, before I even completed, there was this job fair that companies came, and then I applied for. I think I actually applied for some jobs, and then I think later on when they requested, I think they wanted me for an interview, and then they asked me to present my resume. Sometimes they call you, say they say, oh, we have seen your resume somewhere, and then we want to get into interview. Can you send me your resume? So that's one of the things that we have to look out for. So I think most of the companies, I actually met them during the job fair, and I gave them my resume. And that time, I just made my resume like I was an entry. I was looking for entries level jobs. So when they reached out to me, that time I have updated my resume. So I think that I gave them a different resume. The resume that shows that I have been working in the cybersecurity field for like years. So it's like, so what they have is, so I think that sometimes they have the resume, but they always try to trick you to see whether you get the same resume or something. So when I give them different resume, and then it's like I mess myself up. And then apart from that, too, I also have some interviews. That's what I say. When I came out, I was just applying for jobs. Any job that I see, I do apply for it. When I go pen tester, then I apply for it. And then I go to interview, and then in the end, 1 or 2 questions will be stuck. And then that one, in the end, they'll tell, oh, you're moving with someone. I see any job, and then I go to apply for it, thinking that I'll be employed, and then it doesn't work like that. So later on, it doesn't work like that. So even before we completed our internship, there was this guy who reached out to me, recruiter who reached out to me on LinkedIn, and then actually reached out to Dr. Du for prepping, and then for a week I didn't hear from them. I sent an email. He said, "Oh, I have submitted your information to the company. I'm waiting for their feedback," and they never came. And then from there, that I think our program came to an end. And then I started. I did my master resume. I gave to Dr. Du. Then he actually gave me those corrections that I did, and then I started applying. So this was my first. After I completed, this was my first job interview that I'm going to say I got, and then I was given the job. And then a little bit something small I want to just add is even if at the end, Dr. Du is always ready for us. I think that I think I just started last week, and then my manager sent me a request to do some risk assessment. Though that risk assessment wasn't supposed, I wasn't supposed to do that. It was the IT department who was supposed to do that. They will actually reach out to me, and then I will send them the template, and then they will fill the template and send it to me. Then I'll use our GRC tool to do the risk assessment, send it to them, and then they'll come back to me. So he actually gave it to me to complete that. So I was like, what is this? So I called Dr. Du. I took a picture, and then if you're working with a company laptop, you can't do an attachment with anything. So I just took pictures of this, and then I sent to Dr. Du, and then I tried to schedule a meeting, and then when I look, there was no time. So, and it was on Friday, so I was supposed to submit that on Monday. So I went, came back, and then I texted Dr. Du. I told him that I was able to make an appointment because the date the date after Monday. So I told him that if you have time, then maybe you can call me and then guide me through this. So, and then before that, I also called one of our mentors, Felix, who also, I think during the weekend, he was able to guide me through. And then it was on the Sunday when I was actually driving, Dr. Du called me, and then we actually discussed it. Then he actually guided me how to go about it. And I completed it, I sent it, I sent it on Monday, I sent it to him back, and then he was impressed. And then he was impressed with what I did, and then we actually went through it. So yeah, I think it's been okay. And then for just 2 weeks, I'm okay. So Monday, I'll be actually doing the actual work and all that. So I think that all that I'm doing, I think the background is from Dr. Du and all that. So it's been helpful. Thank you.
Thank you, Asana. And Matthew has also joined us. So if Matthew can introduce himself briefly and what he's doing, and then we can add Matthew to the discussion. So if you're still on here, Matthew, you can kindly go ahead and introduce yourself.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you. So my name is Matthew. I was once Dr. Adu's student, so I graduated this year. Then I got a job after the interview. I got a job into a company, and then as a cybersecurity network governance engineer. and I've been working for a couple of weeks now. So I'm so happy to be here. Thank you, Dr. Adu. And thank you.
Thank you, Matthew. And Matthew and Asana were in the same internship class. They graduated, I think, almost 2 months ago. Yes. All right. So, Bettina, if you can also give your take on applying to jobs and rejections. We are moving on with somebody else. And the ones that didn't really go well. And actually, I think Bettina didn't say this, but she got 2 job offers and she took one and left the other. If you can speak to the application process and how you went about, dealing with the whole entire process of applying, interviews. So Bettina, if you are ready, you can kindly take the stage.
Sure, Dr. Ju. Yes, so for me, like I said, I started even with the application during the internship time. I didn't wait to finish the internship before applying. And during that time, you would first apply. Before I got my first interview, you can just do an application, a whole application, take your time, do cover letter, go through the whole process. I mean, give all your nice English in the cover letter, do everything perfect. And then you still wake up. And I don't know if it's just me, but shockingly, that emails was always coming very early in the mornings. You wake up and you just go and check your emails, and I'm like, we are sorry. And like if you said, it will start so nicely. We appreciate blah blah blah, giving you all. I'm like, listen, if you're going to reject me, just start by rejecting me and stop giving me like thanking me for the time and everything, and then they will just drop you. So at a point, so for me, I would say that I always felt like in life, good things don't come easy. And I wasn't, and like Dr. Du always say, he used to encourage all of us. They'll be like, listen, you are going to get a job, definitely. And don't think like if you are, you get pushed to the wall or, you get rejected, that should be it for you. If you give up, what is going to be, if there's no test, where's your testimony going to come from? You understand? You have the experience, you have everything, just keep applying. Mind you, you're not the only person looking for a job. And if you're lazy about it, it's not going to come. Somebody's out there, like if you said, somebody's out there waiting for me. You understand? So I got, a few rejections. Yes. I think you did more applications than me. And I also think it's all about, luck also. Yes, and how, strategic you are. So for me, I had a lot of different resumes. I had one just for GRC, and I would just, vendor risk only. Like I was actually not just doing like one general resume, which a lot of people do, by the way. You don't have to be lazy about it. You need to be very strategic. Have a general one, have specific ones also. And then you are looking for those specific roles and applying directly to it. Yes, and I think that really helped me a lot. So with my first interview that Dr. Du mentioned, yes. So my very first interview that I got after some of the rejections, that was the one that I actually got the first role. It was in North Carolina, but I live in New York, and it was very difficult for me to. I was so excited, but I couldn't move because they wanted me to be in person and they didn't want a remote role. And I have a family and everything, so I couldn't just move myself there. And imagine, so that's why I was telling you about Eretmis and the audacity. Like, listen, somebody would just leave New York and go to North Carolina to live there because of the job. But then I felt like, listen, if I'm able to get this role, I can still find another, job from where I am and still be comfortable. And so I had the audacity to reject. This is me rejecting a job. Not just like somebody has rejected me for a while, but then I was like, you know what? I also sent them an email telling them that I love everything. They took me over there, like a whole big hotel, gave me nice reception and everything. And after giving me the job, I still send them an email too. So me too, I also sent a rejection to somebody else. So I wasn't happy doing it, but then I felt like I had other things also in the pipeline. And the same week that I rejected, I think I rejected it on a Tuesday. On a Thursday, I got another interview for this role that I'm doing. And I went through the whole interview, and this was, I mean, it was hard because the first interview, I did just 3 interviews and I got the role. But this one, I had to do like 5 or 6 interviews. I'm like, God, don't punish me for rejecting the first one. But then I think this was going to be, he knows how the ways and means to get people to. This was the best thing, the best role that I've ever actually. I mean, I wake up every morning and I'm not sad going to work. I'm always so excited when I have to go to work. I mean, my job is a hybrid role. I have to be in the office like 3 days and be at home. There are days I even find myself going the whole 5 days, because I enjoy my work and I enjoy the people that I work with, because I know what I'm doing. So the rejections wasn't easy, but then I did not give up. So imagine if I had given up and I was like, hey, I'm not going to do it again because I've done a lot of applications. I've done like, you do different cover letters, different resumes, go on like, all sort of platforms to do all different types of applications, and then you are getting a lot of the rejections, and it's sad. But then you have to encourage yourself and know that definitely, if you're not going to give up, you will definitely get a job, because every company in this world needs a JRC analyst. Every company. So, and a lot of people, a lot of companies are now even realizing the importance of this role. So it's always out there for us to grab it. So why are you giving up? You understand? Send all the applications that you can send. Get all the rejections that I always tell, so there's somebody that I'm also mentoring, and I'm like, if in a year you haven't gotten more than 360 rejections, you are not applying. That is what I'm telling her. Like, Bettina, I'm applying. I'm like, how many rejections have you gotten so far? Have you gotten your 360? He said, no, Bettina, I've now counted like almost 36. I'm like, you have a lot to go. So by the time you are done getting the 360 rejections, the one that is going to accept you will be part of that. So that is how I tell the people that I'm also helping get in these roles. So it's never give up. I will just say that. I mean, the rejections is always going to come, but then definitely you are also going to wake up one morning and you're going to get the congratulations. We want you to come work with us in that company. So yes.
Okay, thank you, Bettina. So also, I just saw Jason posting there. So Jason is in Japan. Jason also landed his first role, I think 2 weeks, 3 weeks, or 4 weeks ago. But last time, before we could say congratulations, he had left. So Jason, if you want to unmute yourself and also say a word or two, what you are doing now, and we'll give you some shout out as well. So kindly go ahead, Jason.
All right, guys, good morning. It's morning here in Japan. Again, I am going to repeat what everybody is saying, but first, an introduction. I am a lifelong student of Dr. Adu. He will never get rid of me as a student. So, that being said, I have been in Japan for the past 10 years, and I have just gotten this role in Japan here. So I'm coming from an education role. My background mostly is in education. I was teaching back in Jamaica, and I moved to Japan here. With Dr. Do's course, it is okay, whatever cert you have, start from the entry level and move up. You will never lose from it. One of the important things is to listen. I think one of my biggest drawbacks for not being able to get a role quicker, not barring the language barrier or the level of language that they wanted, was the fact that I did not completely listen to Dr. Adu and fully, completely understand or follow through with his instructions. I may follow 60, 70%, and you may see some changes, but in the end, it can only work if you do it 100%. For example, Dr. Adu says fill out the LinkedIn profile and cater every resume to the role. I filled out the LinkedIn profile and I had one general resume that I was using. That did not work. The moment I started catering my resume to every single job application, I started getting feedback. Recruiters were reaching out, companies were emailing, all of those things were working out. So it is important to follow the instructions 100%. Don't give up. Dr. Adu has multiple avenues to help you guys. Giveaways. I'm a winner of one. Didn't have the money. The giveaway was my avenue into Dr. Adu. Where was I going to find that amount of money coming from Jamaica? So, yeah. But the avenues are there, the help is there, and this is a lifelong situation. Dr. Adu, the help, the members that you meet in the group, the support, the arguments, everything can be used for your benefit. This is everything within this program is going to be used for you in your interviews. That's it. This is a whole comprehensive program. You bleed here so you don't have to cry on the job. You bleed here and you're going to bleed here so you don't have to cry on the job. Welcome, guys. And again, thank you, Dr. Adu. I feel like a overdue pregnant woman. The labor was long, arduous, and finally a successful birth. Thank you, Doc.
Thank you, Jason, and congratulations. Let's give some congratulations to Jason. I mean, Jason has gone through, like he's saying, he also went through the same process, the rejections, and he made it in Japan, right? So for people who are asking, can I get a job? You know, I'm in UK, I'm in Canada, can I get a job? It is not a job that is the issue. What are you going to do on the job? Because you're going to get a job anywhere you are. We have students who were sponsored by ADDI. We had a program with ADDI to teach cybersecurity to the youth in Africa. So we had students from Ghana, Kenya, Cameroon, a whole list of them. I think we had 10 or 12. I think 8 or 7 of them got jobs in their home countries. Right. And for those who've been with Eretmis for a while, you know some of them. Some of them were rock stars. They got jobs in their home countries. Some are even teaching cybersecurity. No, I think 2 of them are teaching cybersecurity in Cameroon now, in like high school and I think in colleges as well. Right. So the jobs are there, but like we've been saying all night, you have to know your stuff. Yes, you can see everything starts with knowledge. You can't do what you don't know. But then if you know and you don't do, your knowing is useless in cybersecurity. So you should know, but you should also do and put it in practice. And that is what employees are looking for. Because either than that, you're going to get a job, but you're going to run away from the job. I can promise you that. You turn in your resignation. And the funny part is, it's not like they're going to fire you when they feel like you are not that lady or that guy that they thought you were. They're going to keep you on till they give you heart attack before they fire you. Right. So you will wish they will fire you for you to, give that, relief, like, oh my God, I probably would have been dead on this job in the next 7 months. No, they're not going to let you go. They're just going to torment your life. So, and the torture that you're putting yourself through, it is just because you didn't take the time to build your foundation and then also work on some projects. Because nothing that we do in cybersecurity is above anybody who is on his intellectual capability. I mean, most of you have master's degree, bachelor's degree. So, I mean, some are nurses, some are lawyers. So what can you not do in cybersecurity, right? So with that being said, I think we'll go to Matthew So Matthew, as we are about to wrap up, so we are looking at the practical skills, right? What specific skills or projects helped you to stand out on your job today? I know Matthew has been working for a while now. What has really set you apart, and what projects and what specific skills that you acquired during your training, your internship, that has really helped you on the job now to help you stand out, on what you're doing now? So Matthew, please go ahead.
All right, Dr. Adu, thank you so much. So one of the key skills that actually helped me to stand out in my present job as a cybersecurity network governance engineer is the auditing and also the firewall governance. Because during my previous during my internship, I regularly actually review and also update security policy during our internship. When we're together with the team, so that actually helped me to ensure that our firewall configurations are in compliance and the security policies are in regulatory in accordance to the frameworks. So because I've gained hands-on experience in conducting risk analysis, risk assessment, so that actually helped me to implement it into risk assessment, risk analysis of network trafficking and all that, and also the inter-system communications, which allows me to identify and also document potentials, vulnerabilities, and also provide recommendations. And so my involvement in during our internship has actually helped me to have a very significant achievement by working with cross-functional teams, like because we're like 8 of us and from different backgrounds with different experiences and degrees. We're able to come together and work together to be able to achieve that. That means a student or someone should be able to do that in the place of work where you meet people from China, from India, and so they were so impressed to the extent that they just want to be your friend. When someone is so confident and you know what you're doing in your place of work, everybody wants to be connected to you. Everybody wants to work with you. Even Indians, because we have close like 70% of our team happens to be Indians, and they are very, very sound. Because they are very sound, they still appreciate the fact that this person is so good. Where is it coming from? They want to like get close to you and work with you in some project, because they've seen that in fact in all the senior level meetings they will be talking about, they will be hearing your names. People want to reach out to you and get to know you. All right. So because of my practical experience during the internship, that has actually helped me to improve my network segmentations and overall security postures, to be able to look at it confidently, because all the project and presentations and back and front agreement and disagreement has actually helped me to be able to, it actually stretches me to be able to think outside the box sometimes. You think outside the box, and there are a couple of things that actually helped me to stand out also in order to all these little IT skills, like designing a slide, PowerPoint, how to work on Excel sheets, spreadsheets, how to also, bring people together and talk to people, soft skills, especially during our internship. But Dr. Adu made emphasis on that our soft skills are very, very important. And to be able to communicate with people and bring them together, motivate them to do, and let them see what you want them to do, actually has also helped me to stand out in my present job. Yes. So and so many, even NICS, ISO 27701, all those things that they use in my place of work, they don't discover that this guy knows what to do, where to go, and how to get those things. They just say, okay, man, Matthew has to be in my team. Matthew, can you join our team? Can you join our team? So to the extent my boss was like, "Oh my God, please can you allow Matthew to just face? He has a couple of projects he's working on. Can you just allow him to face those one?" Oh, okay, all right, Matthew. See you soon, Matthew. I just told them, if you need any help, just let me know. And that's the skills I've developed during our internship, to be able to reach out to different people having issues, because we, at the end of the day, during our internship, we allocate different portion of the assignment to different persons. So, but if they are passing through one challenge or the other, I personally just say, okay, can we meet 2 o'clock? Can we meet? So I just volunteer, and get myself involved in their personal project. And that's actually helped me so much to be very, very confident, and to be able to see and also analyze simple networking and network segmentations. Thank you so much, Dr. Adu. Thank you.
Thank you, Matthew. So we are wrapping up, and we'll go around Ifeoma, and then we go to Bettina, Asana, and then Matthew. I think we just jumped 2 questions, which all our members kind of mentioned or talked about them during their delivery, their delivery sessions. So one was mindset. What mindsets or daily habits helped you during your transition? And then another is the career growth. What was the most important decision you made that helped you from beginner to 6-figure role? Now we are moving into the last question, which is advice to newcomers and people who might have. So this is really good because we all have different backgrounds coming into this. For example, Asana had a degree, bachelor's degree, and he thought, that will be it. That will help him to land the role. We have a lot of people like that. They have a master's degree, they have maybe 1 or 2 certifications, and they think, if you have the certifications, well, they should just give you the role, right? But reality on the ground is that is really not the case, right? So for our panelists, based on what you know now and being able to land your cybersecurity roles, first and second cybersecurity roles, what would you say to someone in the audience tonight who wants to get into cybersecurity, whether they have a degree or they are prepping or they are getting ready to take some course? What would be your advice to them, and those who are also doubting whether they can do this or not? So we start with Fiona. What is your advice to somebody who wants to get into cybersecurity, whatever their background is, being in IT for a little bit, or starting from scratch, have a degree, don't have a degree, citizen, not a citizen? What is your advice?
Thank you very much. So my advice is just go for it. Like I said, this is a surreal moment for me because I remember when I sat in my room in Nigeria in 2022 and I was watching Cyber Chat and I was listening to Michael Boa talk about how he transited from healthcare to, in fact, I think he even has 2 cybersecurity jobs. And I'm like,
okay, so if you want not to cut you short, but if I got you right, you were joining Cyber Chat when you were in Nigeria before you came to the States.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I was thinking you were in the States already.
No, I was in Nigeria in 2022 and I found you and I was watching Cyber Chat and I saw Michael. I was like, is this really possible? Like, really? So that was really what got me. And I even tell him that you really inspired me. That interview was a great inspiration. So being here in Cyber Chat now, I am now like Michael. It's really awesome. It shows that it's possible. So I would like to tell those who are on board, you can become us tomorrow. Like, just put your heart to it, make up your mind, be humble, be willing to learn, and just go for it. Okay, anything is possible. Don't think that you have a disadvantage. I've told you, I don't even have a green card yet, and I got a 6-figure income job. So there's nothing that can stop you as long as you're willing to get the skill and the knowledge. And I hope that this encourages you. But sorry, sir, there's a question somebody's asking me a question. It says, when asked how you worked well with others, how did you answer the question? So there was a question that one of the, I think the C-suites, I think the chief of administration, she asked me, if the people who have worked with you, what quality would they boast about you? Like what soft skills do you have that the people who have worked with you would talk about? And Dr. Edu will always tell us to always have the vision, the mission, the principles of the company in the back of your mind when you're answering questions. So I told her, of course, I looked at the company mission. Some of their values are, speed, putting the customer first, innovation, and things like that. And I just used that to answer the question. The people that work with me, they know I'm very innovative, hardworking, diligent, attention to details, team player, desire to research and investigate things. So I just used their values and their principles to answer my questions. So I would say just go for it. Anything is possible. Dr. Edu is available. He has the materials. He also has a heart to help people because, like I said, I had six interviews, and all along the way I was consulting him. Please, this is time for me to meet with this person. What do I tell? And he had a way of directing me on what to expect, and all the things he told me about the interviews. Like, this is the kind of question they're going to ask you. That's what actually happened, and today I have the job. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, Dr. Edu.
Okay, so if you're on a lighter note, so everything Dr. Edu told you during your interview prep, they'll ask you this, they'll ask you that. You went there and it was exactly so. So would you say Dr. Edu is a prophet?
Dr. Edu is a wizard.
Oh my God.
One. Especially the 30 and 90-day plan, 30-day, 90-day, and 120-day plan. The global directors, they actually asked that question. Said, okay, if you come to the company, tell us what you do in the first 30 days, the first 90 days. And exactly as I prepared, I just delivered it, and it was quite awesome. So thank you so much.
Okay, so then I think I conclude Dr. Edu is a prophet. So that has been established. So let's move on. No, and this is a cybersecurity prophet, not the church prophets.
International IT prophet.
Yeah, so we go to Bettina. So what would be your advice to everybody on here that want to start, if they have some background already, no background? What is your advice? Generally, based on what you know, you've been working for a year and you also started from nothing. What would you advise to everybody? Or if you're supposed to advise Bettina to starting from scratch, based on what you know today, what is your advice?
Okay, so I will just go straight to the point. The fact that you picked up a phone to call Dr. Edu means that you know what you want. And if you know what you want and you are starting this, or you want to start this, what are you expecting for yourself? I have said everything, and like I said, and Ify has said it, and all the other panelists have talked today. In life, if you want something so bad, you should be very disciplined. And once you get this is like an all-in-one foundation that you're going to get from here. You're going to study, and then you are going to do the work. I always say that I don't believe in sugarcoating words. I don't believe in just telling people that, listen, just come to Eretmis and you are done. No. Come to Eretmis, but then be ready to work. Be ready to study. If you come and you are lazy about it, believe you me, you are not going to get anything out of Eretmis. You would waste your money, you waste your time. And you would waste Dr. Edu's time. And he'll be very disappointed. So if you are coming to this platform, if you are lucky to be here today and you really want to do this, it means that if you've stayed from 7 p.m. till 9 p.m., it means that you know what you are looking for. So that should be the number one thing for you. Discipline, discipline, discipline. And I can't say this, I don't know what else to say. Because like I said, you have to be willing to sacrifice. And if you put in the work, definitely you are going to get what you're looking for. Don't just be on Eretmis. Don't just pay the money. Don't just have the courses. Don't just join. Don't just be a part of, a cohort. And that will be the end of it. Something good must also come out of you. Tell yourself that on the next, maybe give yourself, I gave myself some months. I'm like, by the end of this year, I want to be working. And truly, I did it. I met Dr. D in February. I started March. Somebody will also meet him in that same time, but then the person will be lazy about it and would not have even done our internship. But I told myself I wanted to do the next internship. And what did I do? The first 4 weeks, I sat down and I studied. I had a vision. I had written down that this is what I want to do this is where I wanted to get to. I did the internship. I studied. It wasn't, I said, and I always say this, I'm a lawyer. I was a law professor. I have studied, I have done my master's and everything in law, but I have never truly studied in my whole life like when I met Dr. Edu. Because I knew I wanted to do this. I was not ready to do this in like 4 years or going to university and start all that thing again. So like everything puts like a full package compressed in one. I have really studied. So it's not, it looks nice and it looks appealing hearing from us. We talking about the success and everything, but it all not just come just like that. We did the work. You heard Ify. She's done how many applications? More than 400 applications. You cannot just wake up in the morning, just take your laptop, do 2 applications and go and sit somewhere saying you're looking for a job. It's not going to happen. So if you really want this, and like I said, we are so lucky. It's not every page that you go to for somebody to teach you IT, and then the person is available for you to be talking to the person all the time. But guess what? You can call Dr. Edu in the morning, he's available. Afternoon, he's available. Sometimes I even wonder what he is doing because he's always there to help you. Okay, even with my small little stuff that I'm doing now with my job and everything, some of the people that I'm helping, and I'm sorry, like somebody can even send me a message in the morning and I'll even forget that I have to reply the person 2 days later because I'm so busy with my work, but he is there, he's available for you. So what else are you looking for? Just put in the work, just be disciplined and be ready to study. Because if you want the money, if you want the comfortability, and I'm always every 2 weeks, I'm getting paid and I'm so happy. I am so happy. And now that the most happiest thing is doing something you love and you're getting paid for it. I don't feel like I'm working anymore because now it comes to us in the job like a conversation. Somebody would just walk into your office. Hey, what are you doing? I check on my people, those doing VMAs, those doing risk management, those doing this. And now it comes to me like so easy because every office, every what's it called? People that I'm managing, everybody that I'm talking to, I already know what I'm going to talk about. It comes so easy because I did the work. And it's easy when you wake up every 2 weeks, you are looking at your salary and you are doing something that you love. It's coming to you so easy and you are getting paid for it. Then how did I get here? I was disciplined. I disciplined myself. I killed myself to understand it, to understand the basics. So please, if you are here, that's the only thing that I would say. Dr. Edu is available for you. The courses is there. The great internship is there. Everything, the resources is here. But then if you are not disciplined and you're not ready to do it, you would waste your time. That is all I have to say.
Thank you, Bettina. And we move to Asana. Asana, what would be your advice? So you have a degree. What would be your advice to people with a degree or a master's or with a certification thinking, hey, once I get this, that is it. That is the way to bridge between where I am and, into a lucrative 6-figure entry-level job. What would be your advice to them?
Thank you, Dr. Edu. I think my first advice would be getting the right guide. And then the right guide is Dr. Edu. Yeah, as I said already, you can have all the degrees, you can have all the certifications, but if you don't get the right guide, you're not going to get to where you want to be. Just a minute. Sorry, my kids are disturbing me. So if you don't get the right guide, you can never get to where you want to be. So, and then I know all of us on this platform actually know where we are. We know where we want to get to. So I'll say, just click onto Dr. Edu. Follow whatever, let me say, he will advise you to do. And then keep your eyes on the ball. I know when I started, I think the ultimate is getting a job in cybersecurity. So no matter how or whatever you are going to go through, you will almost get there. So when I started, I said, this internship, I took it like this CIA triad, because there's a family in there, my job was in there, and then the internship was also there. So it's like doing the 20s at the same time, and then I have to also give all this three the same opportunity. So that is what I was focused on, making sure that knowing that in the end, I'm going to get to where I want to. I know most of us here, many have gotten a job that is even they're ending, I think, over 200,000. So if you look out there, how many jobs or how even the pilot doesn't get that. And then the work is also flexible. I do 2 days on site and then 3 days at home. So Thursdays and Tuesdays I'm on site, and Mondays, Wednesdays, and Friday I work at home, which is very flexible that you cannot get anywhere. So I'm saying the little advice I have for my colleagues here is that we are on the right path. Just keep on, and then in the end, it's going to pay off. Thank you.
Thank you, Asana. And we go to Matthew. Matthew, what would be your advice to our audience, somebody in the audience who's looking to get into cybersecurity with or without an IT background, or for those especially with no IT background who are scared that, hey, I don't think I can do this? What would be your advice, Matthew?
All right, thank you, Dr. Adu. Thank you, everyone. So my advice, I will start with the fact that there are different programs that Dr. Adu does that you need to reach out to Dr. Adu for. There's one that is the entry level cybersecurity program. Personally, I do not have IT background, so I came from healthcare management. So I enrolled to that program. I reached out to Dr. Adu, and Dr. Adu said, "Oh, it's better for you to just enroll through, to go through that program, the entry level program, before the internship." Okay, so I study. In fact, when I was listening to those classes and those modules, I had to pause them and do research on my own side. Pause them and do research. Listen to them, play them again, pause them, go over it over and over, and not knowing that where God will give me, where the job will come from, is actually from networking area. Okay, so my own job is from networking. Is like you are making sure that all their networking configurations is under compliance. It's making sure that everything is, they have to they have to adhere to compliance, and that's my own area. So not knowing that, if I thank God I didn't go straight to the internship, and Dr. Adu actually warned me not to do that. So I decided to go through the entry-level cybersecurity program, and that program is so systematically arranged. I want to advise you, if you are not, if you have no IT background, just like I also, just make sure that please go through this the cybersecurity entry-level program. And everything is well arranged. They teach you networking, teach you governance, teach you vulnerability, teach you risk management. They will go through it step by step. In fact, you will know all those protocols, because during my interview, they asked to ask me what is this protocol? What is the protocol number? What is this protocol? What is the number? All right, like DNS. What is DNS? What is the protocol? What is the port number? So you have to know all that. But when you go through the cybersecurity entry-level program, Dr. Adu helps us. In fact, there was a place he showed us the website where you can go and even download those, protocols and the port numbers. And so please take your time. I don't want to repeat what others have said, but I want you to come into this program, reach out to Dr. Adu, and make sure you are ready to get your hand dirty, right? So I know I've during my own set, some people just enrolled, they pay a lot of money, and we are trying to call them to come and attend meeting, to call them to come and to make sure that they put their hand, they get themselves involved in the project. But you see, after paying this amount of money, so people don't even, they are not disciplined enough to maximize and to benefit from this program. I'm just so, and so it's just so sad to know that. So I want you to please start with the fundamental knowledge in networking and security principles. Understand the fundamentals, and that will make you, we will not just get you the job, will make you outstanding, you know, even when after getting the job. I'm telling you, Dr. Adu said it some few months ago when I was with him, and I'm still going to come back for cloud security program or for PCI. All right. So, but Dr. Adu said something that you don't want to get a job and your blood pressure is going up. No, you don't want to do that. I'm telling you, there is more. You need stamina. You need basic knowledge in networking and security principles. Security, how to navigate yourself, firewall governance, risk assessment, compliance, framework like NACE, ISO. You need, and please do not be discouraged by rejection or by setbacks. I personally, I applied for almost 100 plus, jobs, and they were sending me email. Oh, sorry, unfortunately. I got used to that, but I was so determined. I didn't want to. Some people, after receiving rejection for like 50 times, they start thinking of something else. No, I said this I must get this job. I must get this job. And not that I got the job, I got a better one that I can work from home. And in fact, even my partner that happens to be that works in my partner happens to be, my wife happens to be a nurse, and she started like, are you not sure? Are you not going to connect me with this professor so that I can change my because when you start hearing some figures, the nurses they will be looking at you and say, wow, we thought nursing is something that is the hot cake. But when you get to cybersecurity, you now discover that the stress is less. You are just click, and you know what one thing that Dr. Adu will help you to do is to know what to do when you get on the job. You know what to do. You are not fidgeting. You are not trying to, and if you are not strong enough, you are not involved in what Dr. Adu is telling you, and you are not listening. Before you know, when you get the job, you start reaching out to people and you become embarrassing. I'm telling you, among the team, when you are not confident enough, you start reaching out to this. Somebody is busy on a project, another person is busy on a project in your team, and you are reaching out to them. Hey, can you do this? Can you? People start they start seeing you as a joke. You don't want that. You want a place where you want an environment where they are privileged. They are seen as privileged to have you in their team. And that's what Dr. Adu will help you to. Please make sure that, in fact, you tailor your and even your LinkedIn profile for every job, each job application that you apply for. Please, it's very important. Don't use the same resume over and over. Dr. Adu will tell you that. That has actually helped me. During when I was looking for this. Then also, Dr. Adu will tell you, be open to learning. Open, because on your job, there are some tools. I told Dr. Adu that there are some, they actually brought me in to master tools, right? Because they'll be using manual, they'll be using all kind of manual. So they are trying to teach the people, but the people they've gotten used to that manual way, manual way of doing things. So they now need somebody to come and learn, or to come and master the tools. And that's what I've been exposed to for a couple of days, and that has actually helped us to understand. You'll be able to communicate and tell them this is how to use it. This is how you have to train others once you've gone through the tools. And tools is not difficult. Within 2 hours, you are done with. You already understand tools. You already understand it too. It's just like your phone. You buy you buy a new phone. Before you know it, within a week, your phone you just put it down because you already know everything inside, except you are downloading some app that you just need to go through and get to know. So please, the willingness to learn. Some people, they come because they have IT background, because they've gone to different school before. They just come and start bragging. No, listen, calm down. So when you join this particular, you join Dr. Adu's school, make sure that you calm down, listen, be humble to learn. You pay for it. We are not coming here to show that you know it. If you know it, why did you come here in the first place? So you want to listen. You want to listen, please. Some people are not listening. Some people they come with what they know and they repeat the same thing they've been doing in the past. And that's what that has not gotten you the job. And you are coming here, you are still repeating the same thing. You don't want to learn. Some people will keep on arguing, Dr. Adu will say, let's do it this way. Some people will say, excuse me, sir, I have a question. Then they start arguing. I'll say, what is going on here? What do you want to teach your teacher, or you want to listen so that you can learn and grow? And one thing about Dr. Adu is changing your destiny, is helping you. I'm telling you. So if someone need help, the person must be ready to be helped. And that is very important. That's what people don't know. So please come with open heart, come to learn, and come to support your team. Come to support one another. Come learn how to work with one another. You don't know it. We don't know it all. One person, you can't know it all. You have to work with people. And the more you work with people, the more you learn from them and gain from them also. Thank you, Dr. Adu, for all you do. God bless you, sir.
Thank you, Matthew. And Roland was a bit joined us a little bit later. So I'll let Roland get the last word. And Roland also got a job this month. I think ending of last month or early this month. So congratulations to Roland. Roland got a PCI role, but Roland has been through the PCI class. And then after PCI, Roland was like, I think I need to do the GRC internship. So he joined the GRC internship as well. So Roland, you can kindly introduce yourself, give the last words, and then we are wrapping up. So what will be your advice to somebody who's starting today or who wants to join the cybersecurity workforce? Kindly go ahead, Roland.
Oh, hi, everybody. I'm Roland. As Dr. Du has said, everything Matthew has said and all the other colleagues are very, very true. I also didn't have any IT background. I came from finance accounting, but I was so determined to jump on in. I remember a friend of mine who happened to know Dr. Du. Asked Roland jump into IT. I said, no, I'm scared. I've got health management. I said, no, I'll help you. So I started with the guy, and then later my brother-in-law introduced me to Dr. Du. I called him. I jumped on the GRC program, and then he said, no, go for PCI. So right from scratch, I just jumped into PCI. Dr. Du was a bit reluctant, but I still pushed and went in. And then I finished PCI, went specialist, and then I went to PCI experts. Then I had to come all over to GRC again. So it took me almost a whole year, to try to understand basic stuff. And then, after I got through that, lo and behold, I kept pushing. I had lots of refusals, but I still kept pushing myself, and then eventually I got a PCI not long ago. I'm yet to start though. It's going to be in a few weeks' time, and then it's been awesome. It's been wonderful. And Dr. Du will support you if you are online, if you are anywhere in the world and you want to jump into cybersecurity with no support. Dr. Du is there to support you, and there are wonderful teams around that Dr. Du works along with that will be more than willing to support you. So jump on the wagon, and then you have all the support each of his team members will give you along the way. That's from me. Thank you so much, Dr. Du.
Roland, where are you joining us from? So we know Jason was from Japan. Roland.
Yeah. I was doing a full-time job. I was working like 12 hours, and amazingly, almost all the teams will make me like a leader, And I was wondering, where is this coming from? So anyway, I accepted them, and then, well, to answer Dr. Idu, I'm joining from London. So basically, most of my time I'll finish work and I'll only sleep for 2 hours, and then I'll come on, what do you call it, Doctor, this class, and it's like throughout a whole year I would only be sleeping 2 hours, 3 hours each day, and I'll be going to, I don't know how I made it. I was just speaking to a friend of mine who said he wants to join, and I was going through all of it, and I kept encouraging him. He's now subscribed. He's now jumped on. He's wanting to start GRC and stuff. So push yourself. It might require discipline, but just push yourself, and it won't take too long. You should be done with the program, and you'll be smiling. And I'm so happy. And a big thank you to Dr. Du and to everyone in the Eretmis Academy team. Wonderful. Bless you.
All right, Roland, thank you very much. And
You're most
to
welcome.
our wonderful panelists, Ifioma, Asana, Bettina, Matthew, Roland. I know we have some of our grandpas and grandmoms like Sheila, Kwame, Michael, and others who are willing and ready to also chime in. But because of time, we are going to be wrapping up. I appreciate everybody's time, and we will definitely be bringing Fifioma when she starts. I think when she's almost like 2-3 months in. Roland is also going to be coming back to share what he's doing now. And I think Asana, by that time would also have had like some 3 months under his belt. So at least they will also be coming to speak exactly what they are doing on the job, right? And by then we also have others who would have, gotten their jobs, and they also be coming back. So at the Eretmis, we always have, different levels of cybersecurity professionals in different levels of their career path, right? So there is always something to learn from, or some resources to gain from here. Now, for our resource folks, if you can put your contacts, like your LinkedIn, in the chat, I think other people who want to reach out and maybe get some more insights and get some inspiration from you, that will also help. And for everybody who put their info in the chat, Stephen from Boston, we had Stephen, Chuck from Boston, Stephen from Ohio, and some hellos in there, some team lives in there. Jason left, I think Jason from Japan. Victor from Boston also joining us, some team lives in there. And then I think there were some questions in there as well. Okay, and some team lives in there. And we have Olua Keyodi joining us from Lagos, just like how Ifioma used to join us from Lagos. And now Ifioma is on Cyber Chat, sharing her story. So that is really impressive. And that is why we do what we do here, right? This is the biggest payday that we can ever have at Eretmis, seeing all of you succeed and grow, right? And we are also able to give to the community, our coach and mentor others, because what we are doing, we are paving a way for cybersecurity careers. But we really, like somebody said, I think Matthew, we have to, change our own destinies and help ourselves, right? So this is one way that we can be financially independent. So as a group or a collective group of people, mostly when we look at developing ourselves, becoming better in financial breakthrough, it doesn't come easy. Investment, money-wise, time, right? So most people get hung up on, it's $3,000, it's $5,000. If I'm investing this, I don't have the money. Yes, you don't have the money, but if you don't invest and believe in yourself, you are never going to get to the next level, right? Other ethnicities, they really believe and invest in themselves, right? Why will the CEO of Amazon pay a business coach maybe $1 million a month to coach him? The business coach is not the CEO of Amazon. Why would I pay the business coach to coach me, the CEO? of a huge multi-billion-dollar company because they know the value they are getting from that. If they pay $1 million, they know they are going to make 100 folds, and the information they are getting from it is more valuable than the million or 2 million or 10 million they are paying. Right. So when we are investing in ourselves, unless of course you don't believe you are going to do the work and you don't believe in yourself, like Matthew said, then don't even, or Bettina also said, then don't even waste your time getting into this program or any other program. If you won't do the work, then, what is the need of going to the hospital if when the doctor gives you the medication, you're not going to take it, or instructions you're not going to follow? You're not going to get better. So then just stay home and, just deal with whatever illness that you have. But if you go and you pay money, then make sure you are following the instructions, right? And here, there's no magic wand that says, hey, within 90 days, you get a job or we give you your money back. It doesn't work that way. Anybody who is promising that on Facebook, anywhere else, run, right? It's hard work, but it's doable. Hard work that is doable. You can do it. And, Ifeoma is an example, Bettina is an example. And for Ifeoma and Bettina, and I think, I don't know about Matthew and Asana, but, some people have been in the United States for 10 years. They are not even making close to 50K for the past 10 years that they've been in the United States. So Ifeoma and Bettina, they've taken, they've taken what, false starts, right? Like they've just jumped the curves. 2 years, 3 years, they are making 6 figures plus. That is a huge, and you can't do that in any other career, but in the cybersecurity space, right? And they are doing it legitimately. They are going to work, and they are rock stars there. If when she starts, I know for sure she's going to be a rock star, right? So she is. That is why they gave her the job, and that is the same for Asana. Matthew. I know. And everybody else, Roland. So as we're wrapping up, I appreciate everybody's time. We're going to be meeting same time next week. We went a little bit overboard in terms of time, but I think we all gained something from this. And we'll be holding similar sessions, looking at it from different angles as we move along. But appreciate everybody's time. Have a great and wonderful night, and stay safe. Have a nice weekend. We will meet same time next week for another edition of Cyber Chat. Good night, everyone.
Thank you, sir. Bye. Good night.
And congratulations, Ifeoma, Roland, and Jason. Congratulations, since you guys were I think the latest to land your roles.